The Deputy Minister for Transport and Member of Parliament for Gushegu constituency, Alhassan Tampule, has reiterated government's commitment towards ensuring that Ghana is not left behind so far as the transition from the use of fossil fuel vehicles to electric vehicles is concerned to help curb greenhouse gas emissions and global warming.
What we are doing here is what you normally call the bottom-up approach. We are building pressure from the bottom, engage all various stakeholders. From the regional stakeholder engagement, we will engage various identifiable groups. Every identifiable group that you perceive of around, will be engaging them to get their perspectives. Perchance, somebody would have some idea that is going to be even more revolutionary than we ever thought. What we do know is that we have a commitment as far as our carbon emissions are concerned, and that is what is going to guide us in taking this final decision as to exactly when we need to do. But we are minded that our carbon, emissions have to be less than 1.5 degrees Celsius.
He emphasized that steps are far advanced to ensure that the private sector is part of the implementation program to help facilitate the smooth takeoff of the policy.
What you saw in the presentation are largely private sector driven. So what we are going to have, and when we spoke to one of the groups, they were minded to provide about 250 charging ports across the country. They will provide some in Accra, some in Kumasi, and some in Takoradi. And then the next place they will go to will be Tamale. And what it also means is that whilst you are doing in those cities, you may have to provide charging ports along the routes, because the vehicle has to travel all the way to the places. So they are going to have charging ports as we move along. So basically, the private sector is going to drive this, and we are going to give the private sector every incentive and opportunity for them to be able to drive this initiative.
He was, however, quick to commend the participants of the forum for their insightful inputs and asked that the public engagement has been largely successful.
It's been a very great experience as far as the stakeholder engagements in the Bono East region here in Teshima is concerned. As you saw from the gathering, the contributions that we got from various participants was highly illuminating. So I think that all in all, we are very impressed. And I think that also it appears that people are even more aware of the advent of electric vehicles more than we ever thought.
Deputy Director in charge of Renewable Energy, Doris Dodu, stated that government is creating an enabling environment to help promote the acceptance as well as the use of electric vehicles within the shortest possible time.
Definitely, government will not do something that should shun off customers from using EV. If we say we are promoting, then we have to create the enabling environments for this to become a reality. So in terms of accessing green financing schemes to bring on incentives for users is possible. We are still at the initial stages of putting things on board, looking at if it's possible to look at tax waivers and other things that government is in talk now. So it's something that we do to make sure that everybody gets on board and we get a better use for our electricity that we generate.
Anna Sabit, Joy News, Teshima.